Hey everybody, this article here was something that I just came across while doing some research on this, and as you can see, this says the coronavirus outbreak grows in northern Italy. 16 cases reported in one day. Okay, 16 cases, okay? An outbreak of coronavirus in northern Italy worsened on Friday, with officials announcing 14 confirmed cases in the wealthy region of Lombardy and 2 in the adjacent region of Veneto. Just hours after revealing that 6 people had come down with the virus in the first known cases of local transmission in Italy, Lombardy officials said a further 8 had tested positive, including 5 health workers. The government said that in the affected area, covering several small towns southeast of Italy's financial capital, Milan, it was banning all public events and closing schools and offices and sports venues. You guys, 16 cases. And listen to this. We had prepared a plan in recent days because it was clear what has happened could somehow happen. Health Minister Robert Speranza told reporters as doctors tested hundreds of people who might have come into contact with the coronavirus sufferers. Speaking on the margins of a European Union meeting in Brussels, Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte said he would meet the chiefs of Italy's Civil Protection Agency later on Friday and that the situation was under control. Listen to this right here. Listen to this, you guys. We were ready for this. The people have no need to be worried. We will adopt increasingly severe and precautionary measures, he said. Now listen, they're telling you, you have no need to be worried. They were ready for it. Of course they were ready for it. And listen to this. Increasingly severe. You guys are coming out right there and telling you that they're going to quarantine. None of the new patients are believed to have visited China, the epicenter of the virus, but the first infected patient, a 38-year-old man from the town of Lodi, fell ill after meeting a friend who had recently been there. Okay, you guys, this is what I keep trying to get at. Do you see how vague that they continue to push this? It has gotten more and more vague each day. Now, how you may have it, you may not have it, they just continue to blur the line. They continue to say, we don't know if this person has it, but he had contact with Joe, Joe had contact with Kathy, and so there's a chance that you might have it. It's pure insanity. I mean, they're going to put all those people on lockdown or on surveillance because you talked to somebody that might have talked to somebody that might have talked to somebody. You guys, do you realize the precedent that's at the setting? The precedent that they're setting here is leaving this wide open for them to come in with sweeping action and take everybody. Sorry, I'm not trying to get worked up, but you guys need to see this. This is getting worse and worse. And I'm not talking about the virus getting worse and worse. I'm talking about all these new countries. Every day there's another country coming out saying, oh, we got this many cases, and that's enough for us to shut everything down and to start quarantining people. That man has since tested negative for the disease, but doctors were investigating. Doctors were investigating whether he carried the virus and subsequently recovered without showing any symptoms. See? Said Lombardi, the regional counselor, Gilole Galleria. I said that part wrong, I'm sure. Sorry, guys. Now, here we go. The pregnant wife of the initial patient and one of his friends were infected, along with 3 others admitted to hospital overnight, suffering from pneumonia-like symptoms. Okay, remember, the flu gives pneumonia-like symptoms, right? Two people aged 77 and 78 also tested positive in this preliminary analysis in Veneto, but doctors had not yet confirmed the infection. They're never going to confirm the infection because there isn't what they're saying. You guys, they're just using it to take all control. The governor of Veneto said it was unclear how the two individuals in his region might have caught the disease. Listen, there was certainly no contact with the people infected in Lodi, he said. So now they just even went the next step. First it was you might have talked to somebody who talked to somebody, you know what I mean, and had that kind of a chain of infection through 5, 6 people. Now they're saying there was absolutely no contact. So you know they're probably going next. It'll be airborne or something down that line to where they can just broadly sweep in and take everybody. I'm sorry, but that's what they're setting precedents for. After the first confirmed cases late in January, Italy suspended all direct flights to and from China, provoking the ire of the Beijing government. Diplomatic and economic issues are fundamental, but health comes first, Health Minister Speranza said on Friday as he announced the government's latest measures. All those who have entered Italy after visiting areas in China affected by the coronavirus will have to stay home under surveillance, the health ministry said in a statement. Authorities continued their efforts to track down everyone the new patients had come into contact with. You guys, there we go. To track down everyone that they came in contact with. You guys, that's not even possible. Unless this person went home and never left their home. I mean, you go to a grocery store, you're telling me you're going to track down all those people, and if they are, then aren't they showing you right there, proving the state of surveillance that they have, that we do live in a state of pure surveillance at all times, that they're tracking your every move, they're watching your every move? Most of the contacts of those who tested positive for coronavirus have been identified and subject to the necessary test and measures. Prior to Friday, Italy had reported just 3 cases of the virus, which first emerged in the Chinese city of Wuhan late last year. 2 Chinese tourists from Wuhan tested positive in Rome in late January, while the Italian who returned home on a special flight repatriating some 56 nationals from the same city was hospitalized a week later. China has had more than 75,400 cases of the coronavirus and 2,236 people have died. Still, you guys, this is all happening. 160 million people quarantined in China. 2,236 have died. Now, God rest every one of them. And I have a feeling it's so much higher, but it's not because of the reason that they're telling you. Okay, so for 16 cases, they are closing schools, sporting events, closing down businesses for 16 cases, okay? We know how deadly the flu is. They tell us over and over again how important it is to get your flu vaccine because of how contagious and how deadly it is. We're not here to debate whether the coronavirus is more deadly than the flu or vice versa. I don't care. The point that I care about is the power they're implementing due to this coronavirus, and comparing it to them not ever before pushing out this type of power and control. So 16 cases in Italy. Guess how many cases of the flu they've had? 1.5 million cases of the flu, with many resulting in death. Yet, do they shut anything down? Do they close schools? They say the kids are the most vulnerable, right? So maybe they wouldn't do a full quarantine or anything like that, but if it's that contagious and deadly, don't you think that they should have shut down schools? You guys, just like they say the punishment doesn't line up with the crime, that's exactly what you're seeing here. And you're seeing it expand to each country over and over again. And guess what? It's coming to the United States. U.S. prepares for coronavirus pandemic, school and business closures, health officials say. Same thing. This is an article from today. Same as the Italy. U.S. health officials on Friday said they are preparing for the possibility of the spread of the new coronavirus through the U.S. communities that would force closures of schools and businesses. The United States has yet to see community spread of the virus that emerged in central China in late December, but health authorities are preparing medical personnel for the risk. Nancy Masani, an official with the CDC in prevention, told reporters on a conference call. This is that conference call right here.
These materials will serve as a blueprint for the community interventions that we will use here in the U.S. If you're watching the news, you may be hearing about schools shutting down and businesses closing in countries in Asia to reduce the potential spread of this virus. The day may come when we will need to implement such measures in the U.S. communities. By next week, we expect to be posting a new web page focused on what CDC is already doing to mitigate transmission in communities. We recognize the uncertainty of the current situation. As always, CDC public health experts strive to make the best recommendations based on the most up-to-date data. Our guidance will change as we learn more about this virus.
In coming weeks, if the virus begins to spread through U.S. communities, health authorities want to be ready to adopt school and business closures like those undertaken in Asian countries to contain the disease, Masanier said. We're not yet seeing community spread here in the United States yet, but it's very possible, even likely, that it may eventually happen. Does this sound like she wants it to happen? Because it definitely sounds like to me that she wants it to happen. I mean, listen to that, Yet. How many times? Look at this. We got hasn't happened yet, but it's very possible, even likely, that it may eventually happen. Come on. Our goal continues to be to slow the introduction of the virus into the United States. This buys us more time to prepare communities for more cases and possibly sustained spread. Or does that give you more time to set up quarantines and control factors, or set up vaccine stations that you're going to be forced to go to?
The CDC says the best way to prevent it is to get the vaccine.
You guys, please see how they're unveiling all this different stuff under the cover of this virus. I mean, listen to this. The CDC is taking steps to ensure frontline U.S. healthcare workers have supplies they need, she added, by working with businesses, hospitals, pharmacies, and provisions manufacturers and distributors on what they can do to get ready. Sure sounds like to me like they know it's happening. This doesn't sound like, precautions. This sounds like preparation. The World Health Organization has warned that the window of opportunity to contain the international spread of the epidemic that has killed more than 2,200 people was closing, as the virus has spread to some 26 countries, with a large cluster in South Korea and recent outbreaks in Iran, Lebanon, and Italy. See? Each day there's more countries, and what do? They're doing the same blueprint. This sure looks to me like this is the NWO pushing their weight around and trying to push for exactly what they want, which is a one world government. If we do well, we can avert any serious crisis. But if we squander the opportunity, then we will have a serious problem on our hands. World Health Organization Chief Tedros Adhanom said in Geneva. You guys, you have to realize how they're wording everything, okay? If we do well, we can avert any serious crisis, okay? So they're saying We have to do these quarantines. We have to do these home surveillance. We have to do all these things, right? Vaccines, whatever it is. Because if we squander the opportunity, then we will have a serious problem on our hands. You guys, that's the same layout that they're doing in every country. Push out enough panic, fear, and threat that allows them to pass these laws and allows them to pass vaccines off even faster, and etc. The United States currently has 13 cases of people diagnosed with the virus within the country and 21 cases among Americans repatriated on evacuation flights from Wuhan, China, and from the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan, the CDC said. 13 cases, everybody. And they're getting ready to shut down schools and businesses. Of 329 Americans evacuated from the cruise ship, 18 tested positive for the virus. 11 of them are at University of Nebraska Medical Center, 5 are in medical facilities near Travis Air Force Base in California, and 2 are near Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. All on quarantines. They keep saying they're voluntary. They're voluntary until you try to leave. The CDC is still handling the bulk of the testing for the coronavirus as it works out issues with the test kits sent to the states. Exactly, they're handling it because that way they can continue to control what is actually happening with this virus. They can tell you whatever numbers they want as long as it's their testing, as long as they're handling it. And with them saying that the test kits were faulty, the ones that they did send out, now guess what? They all have to rely back on the CDC to give them, proper testing now so they can continue to keep the narrative wherever they want it. Only 3 U.S. states currently have the capacity to run tests for the virus locally. You guys hearing that? Only 3 U.S. states currently have the capacity to run tests for the viruses locally. Wow. You guys, everybody just needs to get ready. Just prepare for what's going on. It does seem like they're going to continue to push this further and further, so just prepare what you can. Set up plans with your family. If something happens and you're at work, who's going to go get your kids? Small things like that don't cost $1 could be life-saving if this does get as bad as they're trying to tell us it's going to be. The one thing that I have tried to do this entire time is not spread panic or fear, but I still need to cover it. It is important. It's very important. Still, there is no reason to panic, but you do need to pay attention to it. It frustrates me so much when you have people that just don't want to hear it. Oh yeah, it could be, I don't want to hear it. Just let me go on my path, let me go to my job, let me, stay on my phone, pay attention to nothing, tunnel vision all day long, and just live their life. Well, that works for only so long until you go to leave your house and they don't let you. Or you go to work and they don't let you come home. And also right now, if you can talk to anybody that you know about getting their life right with Jesus, because everyone, I can't explain to you how safe I feel doing these videos. And the reason I feel safe, even though I'm putting myself out there, is because I know Jesus has my back. That I don't have to worry about this. I know what's going to happen in the end for me and my son. I continue to talk to as many people as I can because I know how important it is, and I am telling you, time is running out. And I am not saying that this is going to happen tomorrow or a week from now. No man will ever know the time. But we are in unprecedented times right now. And I just don't see anything getting better anytime soon the way that this government has controlled us. Thank you all for listening to this. I hope that I can just get through to a couple more people because it makes every minute of this worth it. Thank you guys all for your prayers. Thank you for all the support. We will get through this. There will be a tomorrow. There will be the next day. Don't fear. God bless.